In today's business landscape, customers demand the highest standard, and companies that fail to meet those standards risk falling behind and losing business. Welcome to Nexus Consultancy. We have dedicated over 15 years to helping businesses to implement ISO management systems for improved quality, compliance, operational excellence, and customer satisfaction. Our company's purpose is simple, which is to empower business and people. Our team of experts work closely with our customers to access their needs and create customized solutions that meet their specific requirements. We conduct thorough audits and evaluations to identify areas for improvement and help our customers implement changes that drive success. Our consultants have extensive experience and serve over 2,000 customers, and we stay up to date with the latest industry trends and best practices. Whether you're a small business just starting out or a large corporation looking to improve your operations, Nexus Consultancy is here to help you optimize your operations, increase profits, and achieve your business goals.
Hi, good day everyone. Welcome to our monthly webinar series. I'm Darren here, and I will be the speaker for today. You will see that the speaker was supposed to be our colleague, Grace, but unfortunately she has an emergency. So today I'll be sharing with you our topic, which is from compliance to impact, schedule waste management for ESG success. Now, before we start, I would like to do a quick sound and video check. If you can hear me and see me, can you put one in the chat box so that I know that I'm not talking to myself? So if you can hear me and see me, kindly put one into the chat box. Okay, all right. Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you very much for your feedback. I will encourage everyone to type any questions that you may have into the chat box. We will address the questions at the end of the session. Let's start with a simple observation. When you walk into a factory, when you walk into the scheduled waste area, it will be able to tell you more about the company, more than any policy or any reports will be able to tell you. Now, if the scheduled waste area is clean, labeled, segregated, and secured, would you feel confident about the company's environmental responsibility? Yes, right. But if the waste area is messy, unlabeled, or poorly stored, it raises questions. Not only about compliance, but about the organization's integrity and culture. Scheduled waste is more than just waste. It is a mirror of your operational discipline. It signals your environmental accountability. And it is one of the most visible indicators of whether your organization takes sustainability seriously or not. Today, we will explore how you can transform scheduled waste from a compliance requirement into a meaningful part of your ESG and operational excellence journey. Sounds good? Okay. For today, we will cover 6 areas from why scheduled waste matters to Bursa Malaysia and 2026 requirements from Bursa, to DOE requirements and how we can align scheduled waste with ISO 14001, how we can turn waste data into ESG evidence, and lastly, building a compliance-driven culture. This will be our roadmap for today. We will go from why to the how and then to the what's next. We will try to make everything today practical and applicable to you. Now, let's start with a simple question. What is waste? Is it A, only rubbish in the dustbin? Or is it B, anything that you no longer need and must throw away? or C, only items that are dirty and smelly? What do you think? Is it A, B, or C? Do type your answer into the chat box. Is it A, B, or C? Oh, Zira B, right? Yes, you are right. It is B. Anything that you no longer need and must throw away. Cool. So what exactly is waste? Any substance or material that would be discarded or intended to be discarded or required to be disposed of, those are waste. It can be solid or it can be liquid or it can be sludge or sludge, for example, from the wastewater treatment plant, sludge. And for our context today, waste generated from your production activities, your maintenance activities, your cleaning, your operations, or any of your support activities like, for example, pest control. So we normally classify these waste into general waste. Example, waste from the office, paper, newspapers, used stationeries, food waste from your cafeteria, packaging waste from your operations like production scrap or process waste. If you're in construction, maybe things like concrete waste or timber waste. Okay, we will just classify them generally as a general waste. And then we have another category that we will discuss today, which would be the schedule waste. Schedule waste are toxic waste, hazardous waste that would be regulated under the Environmental Quality Bracket Schedule Waste Regulations year 2005. Hazardous waste that would pose risk to people, that would pose risk to the environment, that would pose risk to your operations. Therefore, it is actually governed by strict DOE requirements. These schedule waste are governed by DOE. And among all the different types of waste that we have just discussed, the schedule waste carries the higher compliance and also the ESG risks as well. So what is schedule waste? Schedule waste is hazardous waste defined under the Environmental Quality Bracket, again, Schedule Waste Regulation 2005. They are being identified in different schedule waste codes in these 5 categories, SW1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in SW1, they would have SW101, 102, 103, so up to SW432, and in schedule waste SW5, there's only SW501, any other waste. So there are waste like empty chemical containers or solvents or used oils, contaminated materials, sludge from wastewater treatment plant, for example, batteries, e-waste, clinical waste, etc. So there are a total of 77 different types of waste listed in the first schedule of this Environmental Quality Schedule Waste Regulation 2005. So that is that schedule waste. So these are some examples, common examples that we will find in the industries. For example, commonly we would have 305 spent lubricating oil. These are examples: used engine oil, hydraulic oil, compressor oil, or gear oil. So which industry that we would commonly find this SW305? If you are in manufacturing, if you are in automotive or transportation logistics, if you are in workshops, this would be commonly generated schedule waste SW305. SW306 spent hydraulic oil, example, used hydraulic oil from forklifts, presses, injection molding machines, excavators, if you are in construction. So industries that will commonly have this, for example, manufacturing, plastic industries, construction industries, warehouse industries. SW409 are discarded containers. You buy a chemical, you buy a paint, and then you finish the paint container, you dispose it. Empty chemical containers, empty drums, empty pills, IBCs, contaminated bottles. Okay, so those will be SW409. So all factories we believe would have this. Chemical plants or F&B manufacturers would have this, would generate this kind of waste. SW410, example, contaminated racks or oily racks. If you are doing maintenance, let's say you maintain your machine and then oil leak, you use a rag to wipe the oil. Okay, so those are oily racks. Okay, or contaminated racks. solvent soap cloth or contaminated gloves. Okay, so industry that will commonly generate this kind of schedule waste. If you're doing maintenance, if you're in workshops, if you're in car industry, automotive industry, so you would normally generate SW410. 417 if it's paints, varnish, solvent waste, paint sludge, thinner waste. Okay, so if you're doing printing, you're in printing industry, packaging industry, textiles industry, or furniture or label manufacturers, so you may generate this waste, SW417. Example 109 are those wastes containing mercury. Back in the not so far era ago, okay, many of us would use fluorescent lamps. Still being used today, but a lot of, I believe, also changed to LED lights, okay. But back in the days, okay, if you are still using also fluorescent lamps, which contains a little bit of mercury inside, so use fluorescent lamps, use tubes, mercury containing thermometers, okay, scrap electrical components containing mercury. These are SW109. So if you're doing building maintenance for factories, for offices, for warehouse, if you are an electronic manufacturer, if you have a lab, for example, school labs, industrial labs, R&D labs, you may have this SW109. 110 e-waste, electronic waste, or printed circuit boards, used printed circuit boards, PCBs, rejected boards. If you're in electronic manufacturing, ICT data centers, you would generate this. But I think commonly also, if you're using laptops or computers, servers, CPUs, okay, if you want to discard that would also be used e-waste. SW321, latex, rubber, adhesive waste, glue waste, rubber waste. So commonly found in packaging, furniture, rubber industries manufacturing, different types of manufacturing, you may generate SW321. So these are common schedule waste that we find commonly in different industries. Normally, this will be the common schedule waste that would be generated. So what about your side? Do you know what type of schedule waste that you generate? Any of this schedule waste resonate with you? So what type of schedule waste do you generate? So feel free to type in the chat box and share with us. What type of schedule waste do you generate in your organization? Anyone? Any idea? 409? No? Contaminated containers, 409. So those are commons. 410 also, I believe, is common if you are doing a lot of this maintenance. 409, 401, 410. Or Atika, you do generate 110. Yep, because you are handling e-waste. 102 and 103 also, Atika. So yep, these are the example of schedule waste that we generate in our industries. So why schedule waste matters? Why do schedule waste matters? Because if mismanaged schedule waste, then it will lead to high regulatory and environmental risk. Schedule waste matters because it sits at the intersection between compliance, environmental responsibility, and ESG credibility. So from a regulatory standpoint, it is actually one of the more heavily monitored areas by the DOE. Mistakes in labeling, for example, in storage or in documentation can actually lead to enforcement action. And it reflects your organization's environmental integrity and safety culture. Because operationally, poor schedule waste management creates real environmental risks, like leakage that will lead to pollution to the environment, or it becomes hazardous to the workers. It forms part of waste reporting in sustainability disclosures from an ESG perspective. Schedule waste should be included in your waste reporting if it is material to you, and it will provide an indication of your environmental governance. Customers, auditors, investors can immediately see whether your waste is properly handled, documented, or tracked or not. And strong controls in schedule waste, meaning it will lead to strong ESG credibility. And with the movement towards this enhanced sustainability disclosures, hazardous waste handling or this scheduled waste handling will become part of your ESG footprint. So strong controls show discipline, it shows integrity, and it shows accountability. So let's talk a little bit about Bursa Malaysia. Bursa Malaysia requirements. Okay, in December 2024, Bursa Malaysia actually introduced the enhanced sustainability reporting requirements that would align with the ISSB standards, the International Sustainability Standards Board, the IFRS S1 and S2, the International Financial Reporting Standards S1 and S2. So it says that for larger companies, okay, with larger listed companies, public listed companies above revenue of 2 billion and above, this would apply for them starting from financial year starting 1st January 2025 or financial year ending on 31st December 2025 or after. And the rest of the companies listed on the main market below 2 billion revenue, okay, it would apply to them in year 2026, meaning financial year reporting 1st Jan 2026. This would mean that these publicly listed companies must include a sustainability statement in their annual reports. That statement shall be prepared in accordance to the IFRS S1 and S2. This would also mean that environmental data, example, the waste or hazardous waste, if it is material to you, material meaning if it is significant to your company, then it should be disclosed publicly in your sustainability statements. How to disclose it? You would probably report the total waste diverted from disposal or total waste directed to disposal, the waste that you dispose. This is as per the Bursa Sustainability Reporting Guideline. So Bursa Sustainability Reporting Guideline and tools like the SDDG, the Simplified ESG Disclosure Guide, it does include waste reporting. There is a segment that include waste reporting or hazardous waste because if you have read the Bursa Sustainability Reporting Guideline before, it also has a cross reference to the Environmental Quality Schedule Waste Regulation. That is actually mentioned in the guideline and recommended as an ESG indicator. So naturally, in that case, schedule waste control would actually influence the quality and credibility of your ESG data reporting or your ESG disclosure. The point is this. So if it is in the annual report, your environmental performance will become public. So investors, customers, analysts, they would compare your ESG disclosure, your waste data across companies. So waste data becomes a benchmark. And any gaps, then if there is any gap, then it will become visible to customers and investors. So that is Bursa Malaysia, okay, alignment to or direction, and this will be what they need to disclose in year 2026 for main listed companies. Of course, for SMEs, it is not yet mandated, okay, under the National Sustainability Reporting Framework, but SMEs are encouraged to adopt to the standards or use guidelines like the SCDG, the Simplified ESG Disclosure Guide, on a voluntary basis. So that's about Bursa. Then what does the law say? Law, DOE, in this context, the schedule waste, DOE would be the enforcer of the law. Okay, so the DOE requirement has not really changed, but what has changed is how these requirements now connect to ESG expectations. Let us revisit the schedule waste legal requirements. It starts from the Environmental Quality Act. So if you look at the Environmental Quality Act 1974, Section 34B, it says that it prohibits placing deposit, etc. of scheduled waste, meaning no person shall, or no organization, or no company shall place or deposit or dispose, or cause or permit to place, deposit or dispose, except at any prescribed premise, meaning licensed by DOE, except at those premise. You can't dispose any scheduled waste onto the land or into the Malaysian water. So that's what Section 34B says. And also, when they did the amendment in year 2012, okay, the Environmental Quality Amendment Act 2012, it also added in the section 49A 1B, competent person in the management of scheduled waste. So now you also need to appoint a competent person to manage scheduled waste should your organization generate scheduled waste. So these are in the Act. What about then from the Act to enforce, the ministry came out with the Environmental Quality Schedule Waste Regulation, year 2015. So these are the things that you see listed here. These are all the regulations. Okay, regulation 3, you need to notify that you generate schedule waste. You need to dispose of scheduled waste. 8, you need to your responsibility as a waste generator. You need to store, you need to label, you need to keep an inventory. You need to provide information, the consignment note, and when you dispose, you need to provide information when it is transported out, meaning when you dispose the waste card. What you need to do when you spill, and you need to regulation 15, you need to conduct training on management of scheduled waste. So a lot of requirements. So let's simplify it. Okay, simplify this regulation into something that you would need to do if you were to generate scheduled waste. If you are generating scheduled waste in your organization, you need to notify DOE within 30 days from the date of generation of your waste. And then you need to start to segregate based on the scheduled waste codes, according to what we discussed just now, scheduled waste codes SW 409, 410, 110, etc. that we discussed just now. And then, okay, you need to properly pack your scheduled waste into compatible containers, or containers that are durable, and those that the scheduled waste will not attack the containers. Or what do we mean by attack the containers? Example, if your scheduled waste is acid, strong acid will actually attack plastic containers, so you can't store acid into plastic containers. So you need to make sure that your containers are suitable, that is durable, that will be able to store that scheduled waste. You need to label the scheduled waste. If you are generating, then you need to pack it. You need to label it. You need to put a label. In your label, it should have the scheduled waste code. It should have the date of scheduled waste first generated. It should have the name of waste generator. It should have the address and the phone number of the waste generator. So pack, label, store. So you need to store your scheduled waste under covered or in secure location. Store away from sources like heat, sparks, or flame. Also meaning you can't smoke next to the scheduled waste storage area. So that will be a non-conformity. Provide secondary containment so that if it leaks, then it will not pollute the environment. It goes into the secondary containment. So secondary containment should be provided. And as you store, you need to keep an inventory, up-to-date inventory. This is as per the 5th schedule of the schedule waste regulation. Inventory, which would consist of a waste category code, name of the waste, quantity of waste generated, waste handling method, etc. So you need to keep an inventory. How long can you store your scheduled waste? For those who are practicing, I believe you are aware that scheduled waste cannot be stored more than 180 days or cannot be more than 20 metric tons. So you cannot store more than 20 metric tons. If it reached 20 metric tons, then you have to dispose. If it haven't reached 20 metric tons, then you have to dispose when it comes to 180 days. You cannot store more than 180 days. When it reaches 180 days or 120 or 20 metric tons, then you need to dispose your scheduled waste. Dispose by who? Dispose by licensed contractor. Licensed contractor meaning contractor approved by DOE. During disposal, generate a consignment note, and waste generator shall provide information to the contractor in accordance to the 7th schedule, meaning when you transport your scheduled waste out of your premise to the licensed disposal area, when you are on transportation, during the transportation stage, let's say on the highway, it may leak or it may spill. If it spills, then what do you do? What should you do? So this information should be provided to the contractor during transportation. If it leaks or if it spills, then what can you do? So this is normally what we call a waste card, or in the regulation, we call it a 7 schedule as per the schedule waste regulation. So that information should be provided as well. So these are the things that you need to do if you generate schedule waste according to the DOE requirement or according to the environmental quality schedule waste regulations. All right. So let's look at some common schedule waste compliance gaps. If you look at the photo here, what do you see? You see schedule waste, the contaminated glove, thrown into a general waste bin, right? It is mixed with the other waste, right? So what do you think? Is this a compliance or non-compliance? Do type your answer into the chat box. Is this comply or non-comply? Yep, you are right. It is a non-compliance. Oh, it is a non-compliance. Let's look at the next one. What do you see here? You see the containers, disposed containers, empty chemical or empty oil containers, and then you also see racks. Can you mix them together? Mixture of schedule waste with these containers and the racks. Can you mix them together? Is it a compliance or non-compliance? Yup, you're right. It is a non-compliance as well. You cannot mix schedule waste together. Now, all the schedule waste code that we just mentioned, the empty containers will be SW409 and the racks will be SW410. So you cannot mix them together. All different schedule waste should be separated into different bins. So this is a non-compliance. What about this? This one you may need to squint your eye a little bit. Okay, take a look at the label. Take a look at the label, and you will see that the date of generation here is missing. Date of generation is missing. So you throw the schedule waste into the bin, and then you did not write the schedule waste date of generation. Do not write schedule waste date of generation. Is it complying or non-compliance? What do you think? Comply or don't comply? Yep, it doesn't comply. That's right, it doesn't comply. So schedule waste, when the first day you throw into the schedule waste bin, you need to put in your date of generation. That's how we calculate 180 days, right? Yeah, you throw in the first day, then you accumulate, you store for not more than 180 days or not more than 20 metric tons. So if you don't write the date of generation, it is a non-compliance. What about this? This you will see over here. Okay, these are actually use filters contaminated with schedule waste. Use filters contaminated with schedule waste. So what they have done, they have actually used it for other purpose. They have used schedule waste for other purpose. In this case, they have used it as a flower pot. Can we use schedule waste as a flower pot? Comply or not comply? Yep, correct. This is a non-compliance. So schedule waste cannot be used for other purposes. It has to be disposed as a schedule waste. Very common non-compliance that we see in the construction industry. Or they have they use, let's say for example, or they did painting, then they have the empty paint container. So after the empty paint container dry already, then they use it to store screws, nuts, to store tools. Okay, so when auditors see that, it will become it is an NCR, it is a non-compliant, so we cannot use schedule waste for other purpose. Schedule waste have to be disposed as the schedule waste. Okay, so these two photos are actually some good practices. So you saw schedule waste on top of the secondary containment. This is an example of secondary containment. Also, that if it leaks into the secondary containment. This is a good practice. And if you see here, we got the schedule waste storage area. Schedule waste storage area, it should have the signage. This is the schedule waste storage area. It should have a signage, no smoking sign, warning signs. Is it hazardous? Is it easily flammable? Or is it toxic? So it should have the warning sign at the entrance of the schedule waste store. So these are some good practices. Okay. So the common compliance gap, just to recap, okay, wrong or missing schedule waste label. This is what we commonly see as a gap when we do audits. Mixing incompatible waste, just now, like for example, just now SW409 mixed with SW410. So that's a common compliance gap. A poor storage housekeeping, okay, that's a compliance gap. Inventory not updated, this is also common. They didn't update the inventory, so this will also be a common compliance gap. Or records missing, okay, records, for example, do you have the transporter? Transporter, just now we say must be a licensed contractor from DOE. Do you have the license? Oh, we did not get a license. Oh, we misplaced their license. So records missing, for example, this is a common compliance gap. And waste not disposed after 180 days. This is also a common compliance gap because they say, we have a very small quantity, so not worth it for us to dispose. But the law says that you have to dispose after 180 days. If not, then you can apply for extension, but you need to apply for that extension. So this is a common compliance gap. Right. So every gap has a cost, okay, whether visible or invisible. So, and the invisible ones are usually bigger because it may lead to this kind of gaps. It may lead to fines or penalties by the DOE, or it may lead to your poor ESG rating. It may lead to customer rejection during a supplier audit, or it may lead to your reputation or trust erosion, or damaging your reputation or trust. So compliance is not enough. Just to comply is not enough. We must build a system. We must have a system. So, and that brings us to ISO 14001. So what is an ISO 14001? It is the environmental management system. It helps you to manage your environment. It helps you to manage your environmental impact. Environmental aspect and impact, I believe you are aware. Environmental aspect, what are the things that can interact with the environment? And if it interacts with the environment, then what will be the impact? Also, like example, when you do photocopying, you use paper. After you photostat, then you have a used paper. What do you do with this used paper? Do you dispose? If you throw into the river, then it impacts the river. So that is environmental impact. So it helps you manage the impact. It helps you improve your performance, and it helps you to comply with regulations. It is a requirement in ISO 14001 to comply with legal requirements. So how can ISO 14001 help support your schedule waste compliance? Of course, ISO 14001 is based on PDCA, plan, do, check, act, plan what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve it, what should you do to achieve it, then do it, do what you plan, check whether what you have done, achieve what you plan or not, check. If you check and don't achieve what you have planned, then you come up with improvement plan, act on the improvement plan. So that's PDCA, right? So how can this ISO 14001 help support your SW or schedule waste compliance? For example, 513 of the standard requires you to determine the roles and responsibility. So who is responsible for the schedule waste? Assign the PIC. Determine that person role and responsibility. So it can support you with the assignment of the roles and responsibility. 6.1 here, if we zoom in, we will have the 6.12 environmental aspect impact evaluation. So what kind of environmental aspect and impact that would affect the environment from your schedule waste? So 6.12 will help you to manage that. Zoom in further, we got 6.13 compliance obligations. Okay, what are the things that you need to comply? You are obligated to comply. So that will be the legal requirement, schedule waste regulation, and do you comply or not? So that will be in the 6.1.2, 6.1.3. are you complying with the legal schedule waste regulations or not? If you are not, then how do you plan to comply? That will be in clause 6.1.4. And are your people competent to manage schedule waste or not? So 7.2 competency, that will help you to manage the competency of your personnel involved in schedule waste management. How to handle schedule waste, where to dispose, how to label. If if the waste were to spill, then what to do. So 7.3 awareness, we can create the awareness. The standard will help you to guide you to create awareness on the schedule waste requirements. Just now we say missing records is actually a common non-compliance. So ISO 14001, we got 7.5 that will help you to manage your records, help you to manage your documents, right? And 8.1 will help you to plan how to control your schedule waste. 8.2, again, if spill, then how to respond, emergency response, 8.2. And if you do have a spillage, okay, how many cases do you have? It helps you to monitor and measure. It helps you to monitor and measure your inventory. It helps you to monitor and measure your schedule waste performance. That's clause 5.1. And if you are not complying to the schedule waste requirements, then what is the root cause and how can you comply? So 10.2 would help you to improve. So as you see, ISO 14001 is actually a very structured requirement, a very structured standard that can help you to align DOE requirements with the ISO 14001 so that you can shift from managing waste reactively to managing it systematically. So that's how ISO 14001 can help you to manage your schedule waste. Okay, so with ISO 14001, okay, you will have a strong waste management. It will help you to define clear ownership with clear roles and responsibilities. It helps you to establish SOPs and determine the trainings required for the personnel. It helps you to provide proper control. It helps you to have a structured monitoring and measurement control in place. And of course, it helps you to regularly check, okay, whether you are complying with the schedule waste requirements or not. Strong systems built on repeatable processes. So when your team follow these 5 elements here consistently, the keyword is consistently, then you would be able to manage your waste and your ESG data will then become more reliable. Okay, talking about data, now that we have the waste data, okay, the schedule waste amount that you are generating, the schedule waste the amount that you are disposing, the next question will be, how can we turn this data into something meaningful or something that will help you with your operations and with your compliance, help you with your ESG story? Here are 5 practical ways that we suggest to do that. Number 1 is to set targets. Set targets per ton or per unit or per month. First, use your waste data to set clear and measurable targets. For example, you may want to track waste per ton of production or per unit output or per month, waste generated per month. That will give you a baseline. And once you have a baseline, you can then set reduction targets. Targets don't need to be ambitious, okay, to begin. Example, a small 2% to 5% reduction, that is actually a very good start already. Reduction of schedule waste per year, that's a very good start already. Then compare sites or compare departments. Or compare waste levels across different sites or different lines or different departments. This will be helpful to help you to identify whether the wastes are unusually high or not, or whether certain teams are performing better compared to another. An example, let's say line A produced double the amount of waste compared to line B, but line A and line B are the same process, but line A produced double amount of waste, then it is a clear signal that something may need your attention. So whether it's training or better process control or better material usage or even housekeeping, something would need your attention. Identify high-risk waste streams. Use your waste breakdown to identify the high-risk streams. What does that mean? These are the waste that will cost more to dispose or carry a higher environmental risk. Once you know which waste streams that are more critical to you, then you can focus on the improvement efforts where they can have the bigger impact. You can also review processes or raw materials or handling methods to reduce this risk. Number 4, build cost benefits cases for reduction. What does that mean? Your waste data can help you to build a simple cost benefit case to justify improvements. For example, if a contractor charges you, let's say, 250 per kg, or ringgit 250 per kg, and then you produce 10 tons of this waste per year, even a small reduction of 10%, let's say, will save you thousands of ringgit. So when you put the numbers, when you have the idea of the numbers, how much of savings you can actually save or generate, it becomes much easier to justify your investment in either better trainings or improved storage or better processes. And then showcase your improvement in your ESG report. Your waste data is a powerful communication tool. So when you start tracking reductions, improvements, or better controls, then you can highlight these achievements in your ESG report or your sustainability communication. This will be able to show the stakeholder that your waste management is not only compliant, but it is strategic. It demonstrates transparency, your accountability, and your commitment to improvement. All of this will actually help you to strengthen trust with your customers, with your auditors, and with your partners. That's how we can turn waste data into ESG strategy. And lastly, let's talk about building a compliance-driven culture. That is something that is equally important. The culture behind schedule waste management. Because even if you have the best SOP in place, you have the best forms, okay, but nothing works unless the people handling the waste every day understand why it matters and what they need to do consistently. Again, the word consistently. Here are 6 practical steps that we would like to propose to build a compliance-driven waste culture. Step number 1, communicate why waste matters. People follow rules because they understand the reason behind them. So instead of saying, please label the drum, say, we label the drum because if we mix the chemicals accidentally, then it will cause fire, and then it will cause chemical reaction. Or help team see that the schedule waste is not just paperwork, it is actually about safety, it is about environmental responsibility, and it is about protecting the company's reputation. Once the why is clear, then the behavior naturally follows. Train the team. People may forget, so or staff may be reassigned, or contractors may change, or new staff may come in. So a short refresher training, frequent refresher trainings, or even just a 10 to 15 minutes kind of refresher, it would be able to make a big difference. Teach them how to correctly label, how to segregate properly, what to do when the drum leaks. This will keep the awareness fresh, and then you'll be able to help reduce mistakes. Appoint a waste champion. Every site needs one person who acts as their eyes and their ears of schedule waste. So to coordinate between departments, check if the waste is stored correctly or not, monitor the expiry, whether already past the 180 days or not. If there's any issues, this person will be able to report issues earlier. So this will actually help, okay, to maintain your documentation and how to maintain your schedule waste. Because when one person takes ownership, then you will be able to reduce the gaps, and then you will be able to improve communication. Uh, Strengthen contractor management. Your waste contractor would actually play a huge role in compliance as well. If they were to misclassify waste or use the wrong schedule waste code or delay collections, okay, you are still responsible. So review your contractor's license, whether it's still valid or not, review the service performance, review the documentation accuracy, the timeliness of their collection. Okay. A good contractor partnership protects your compliance. A weak one actually creates unnecessary risks. And conduct monthly checks. A simple monthly, or if you can't do it monthly, quarterly checks helps you to catch small issues before they become a big concerns. Check things like are drums properly labeled, segregation correct, storage period still within limits, containers in good condition or not. So regularly check will show discipline and make compliance easier. Reward good behavior. Number 6, reward good behavior. Okay, people repeat what they are recognized for. A small reward for teams or for the people that demonstrate excellent waste management. Simple things like a verbal recognition, you did a good job, a simple certificate, or even a simple lunch, okay, can create positive motivation. So this builds a culture where doing the right thing becomes normal, not you are being forced to do it. So culture is not built on, it's not built on SOPs, okay? So, but people repeatedly, sorry, let me rephrase that. Culture is not built by SOPs. It is built by people who repeatedly do the right thing. So compliance protects you, systems strengthen you, but culture sustains you. Okay, and with that, I have reached the end of my sharing. I hope that you have found this webinar to be informative and applicable. So we have now reached the Q&A session. So do feel free to ask any question that you may have as we are in the Q&A now. And since we are in question and answer, probably let me ask you the first question. Let me ask you the first question. What is the one daily schedule waste problem that you wish could disappear today? What's the one problem regarding schedule waste that you are facing that you wish could disappear today? What is this problem? Maybe you can help to type in the chat box one daily schedule waste problem that you wish could disappear. What would that be? What are the challenges that you are facing in terms of schedule waste? Anyone? Do you face any challenges? Increased weight, because then it will not be accurate in it will not be accurate when you actually key in into your eSwiss information. What else? But then again, why would your schedule waste be wet? It is supposed to be stored away from the weather, from the rain, from water on the ground. So maybe you can look at the storage condition. A mix of schedule waste with general waste, yes, that is very common. In a lot of the audits that we do when we walk around, one thing, auditor commonly will open the general waste bin and then look inside the waste bin and see whether there is any schedule waste inside or not. So the auditor will do that, though bear in mind. So auditor will open a schedule waste bin and see, hey, why got one oily rag or contaminated glove together with your waste bin. So that will become a non-conformity. So how to resolve this? You need to have proper communication, things that we discussed just now, a refresher on how to handle schedule waste, a reminder to the people on how to handle schedule waste. That would be useful to prevent this from happening. Wastewater treatment plant. So that will be probably is wastewater treatment plant, most likely will be slusher. Sludge. So some of our customers, they actually sludge, they put it aside first, let it dry, then only pack it. Workers and management support. Leadership commitment. Yes, it's very important. So also in the ISO 14001, in the clause 5.1, leadership commitment is actually very important. Okay, to make sure that everything is in compliance, or we can carry out the work in compliance with the regulations. Improper storage, no updated inventory. Yes, these are the common problems that we were discussing just now. Cross-contamination, yes. So you cannot mix schedule waste together. Keep inventory updated. That's right. Train staff so that they understand and follow. Okay, then they resign and they train again new staff repeatedly. This will be, yeah, you're right. So continuous training, continuous awareness. Or probably another way to look at it, how can we make yourself motivated, okay, to stay with the company, to stay on with the company. About updating the inventory also, probably we can you can come up with a culture, okay, that every end of the month, then you should put a reminder, okay, to say that to remind you to update the inventory, make it as a good practice. Uh, Yeah, schedule waste cannot be used for other purpose, but then rubber tire used as pot. Can we do that? Rubber tire, is it a schedule waste? Uh, Rubber tire is actually not really a schedule waste. So unless it is contaminated, then contaminated, yes, it will become a schedule waste. Storage area have any specific measurement? Storage area don't have a specific measurement. But storage area, as what we were discussing just now, it has to be certain conditions, like for example, you don't store it next to the longkang, okay? Because if not, then it may lead to pollution. So if you have no choice but to do it, then you put it into you store on the secondary containment. You provide secondary containment, or you provide bund wall, But then size, no, there is actually no size. Okay, but it has to be secure, or it has to be suitable for the storage of the schedule waste. Warning sign, yes, it is a requirement to have a warning sign. At the entrance of the schedule waste store, you must put the warning sign. It is a requirement. Obtain a real weight on somehow big item, centralized air conditioner. Example, centralized air conditioner. Nora Farhana, do you mean that you have an air conditioner so that the schedule waste will dry and then you will have the real weight, if I understand you correctly? How do we make roles clearer between production, the warehouse, health and safety, environmental? Um, you can make you can come up with job description. So as per the ISO 14001 clause 5.3, so segregate or identify the job descriptions of each personnel. For example, production, what should they do? So write the job description for the production in terms of schedule waste. What should production do? Production should dispose schedule waste into the schedule waste bin. Warehouse, what should they do? Then warehouse should actually make sure that the schedule waste area are secured, schedule waste bin are labeled. Health and safety, what do they do? The health and safety would probably need to make sure that the schedule waste are disposed in not more than 180 days. Make sure that the documentations are available. Make sure that there are licensed contractor appointed. So segregate the roles correctly and put them into the different job descriptions. Fire extinguisher, is it a schedule waste? Fire extinguisher, no, it's actually not a schedule waste. You can recycle fire extinguisher. You can return it to the fire extinguisher supplier. They would be able to refurbish the fire extinguisher. and then they can reuse again. So we can actually, yeah, it is not it is not a schedule waste. Any other questions? If the machine is not in use, it contains PCB inside, is it a schedule waste? It is not a schedule waste until you decide to dispose it. If it is not in use, you put it aside, you didn't use it, it is not a schedule waste yet. Okay, but until the day that you decide that, oh, this is already required to be disposed, then it will become a schedule waste. Sustainability initiatives that can be implemented on schedule waste management. When we talk about sustainability initiatives, basically, if the waste or schedule waste is significant to you, then we will need to monitor significant meaning material to you. Then we will need to monitor the waste generated, the amount of waste generated. So, how many tons did you generate per month? So, a good sustainability initiative would be a reduction of the waste amount. So you can come up with a project to reduce waste or schedule waste quantity that you generate. That would be a very good sustainability initiative. And then you can even promote those the reductions that you have achieved. You can put it into a report or can even put it on your website so that people know your commitment. Out of context, how far do I think companies are truly committed to care for the environment and not simply greenwashing? Of course, there's two sides to it. We have met a lot of customers which are truly committed, meaning they really want to protect the environment. They are genuinely care about protecting the environment. So there is of course we have seen many customers like that, and we have also seen customers that are doing it because it is a requirement, because theory require, or because we have also seen because their customer asked them to declare or to report. So they have no choice but to report it. So there are always two sides to it, but of course we will hope to bring more to the better side, to more companies to the better side. Does it have a fixed reporting checklist for ESG reporting for implementation? There is actually no fixed reporting checklist for ESG reporting. When you want to report a ESG report begins with materiality assessment. Materiality assessment meaning, is it material to you? Is it significant to you or not? So waste generated, is it significant to you or not? Like for example, if it's our company, a consultancy firm, we don't generate schedule waste. We don't have schedule waste. So it is not mandatory. We don't generate schedule waste. It's impossible for us to report schedule waste. So we don't have to do that. Even if we write a sustainability report, we don't have to report our schedule waste because we don't generate any. So there is actually no fixed checklist for ESG reporting. What you need to do is actually a materiality assessment, identify what is actually significant to you. I hope that answered the question. Can we treat special management of schedule waste return collection by supplier as a part of sustainability initiative for reduction? Return collection by waste for waste oil. There are suppliers that, if I understand your question correctly, there are suppliers that actually take the schedule waste back and then recycle it. Yes, they are. We also got customers that they take the used oil back, and then they recycle it and becomes oil again for usage. So if you can actually capture those kind of amount, that how much you actually recycle back into the economy. So yeah, that can be actually considered as an initiative, or as your sustainability initiative. You recycle schedule waste. Yep. Yeah, I believe so. I think we have reached if there's no other questions, we have reached the end of the Q&A session. If you have more questions, do feel free to reach out to us. We will be happy to assist you. So we have a discount voucher for you. Thank you for participating in this webinar today. So we have a discount voucher, a 15% discount voucher for any trainings that you assign with us. So there is a QR code here. If you are interested, do scan the QR code and fill up the form. It will lead you to a form. Fill up the form, valid until 26th of November. You see that there are two dates here. There is the 26th November here, and then there is the 27th November here. So it is valid until 26th November, 11:59 p.m. So valid before 27th November 2025. All right. So sign up, and then our salesperson will be in touch with you and provide to you a suitable proposal. Sign the proposal before 2nd December, and then you will be entitled for our ESG trainings that you require. Okay, so it's trainings, ESG related trainings. So maximum 25 packs, and they are all HRDC claimable. And of course, we have also another condition that the training has to be completed before March 2026. So anyone interested, do feel free to scan the QR code here. Okay. And then with that, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your participation. And if you need further support from us, do feel free to contact us or contact me direct. My contact info is here. Thank you very much, and I'll hope to see you all again. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today.